Welcome to Fort Sheridan Forest Preserve. Good afternoon, everybody. I am coming to you this afternoon from the city of Lake Forest, Illinois. It is at this location that we're going to check out the trails here at Fort Sheridan Forest Preserve. Looking at the map they have here, looks like there's 3 different trails we're going to check out. I parked in the parking lot right here, which is right by Cliff Road. So right from this location, it looks like we could pick up the Hutchinson Trail, which is about a mile long. We're going to do it there and back, so that's about 2 miles there. We're also going to check out the Parade Grounds Trail, which is this red one here. Looks like it wraps about halfway around a Parade Grounds National Historic Landmark, so we're going to check that out. And then there's this little tiny trail here, the Lake Overlook Trail, which is 0.2 miles, and it takes you to an overlook. There is a big green loop here, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4 different overlooks and access to the cemetery here, though unfortunately it's a grass trail, and bikes are not allowed on that. So looking at the map in AllTrails here, says we're going to get about 3.6 miles out of it with the backtracking. So you can see over here, I'm right up in the corner. I parked in this parking lot here, so I'm just going to follow the trails up and back. As far as the cemetery goes, we're going to see if we're able to get to it, but if we're not going to have access to this trail here, and the Robert McClory bike path is on this side of the street, I'm not sure exactly how we'd be able to cut right over into the cemetery parking lot here. You should also be aware that last year, the Lake County Forest Preserve purchased this Openlands Lakeshore Preserve, which is just below the area. So today's ride is the Fort Sheridan Forest Preserve. Next week's ride, we're going to check out the Openlands Lakeshore Preserve, which goes through this area just south of it. It looks like both of those forest preserves are connected to the Robert McClory bike trail. It's been a gorgeous weekend in the Chicagoland area. Temperature today should get to about 60 degrees. It is pretty calm wind-wise, so I'm hoping to get the drone up a few times today. Always excited to get the drone up near the lake, as it tends to get windy by the lake. So sometimes it's hit or miss on whether or not I'm going to be able to fly my drone when I'm near Lake Michigan. I am super eager to check this forest preserve out, so let's get started. Almost immediately upon starting the ride, you come across this iron gate post, which stood as Fort Sheridan's main entrance from at least the 1930s to the 1990s. Pretty cool. Also, I failed to mention, in this parking lot here, there are picnic tables. There's nothing covered. They have benches also, and they do have a restroom and a map, so that's useful. So over this way, that green birding trail loop starts over here, also along with the Lake Overlook Trail, which I imagine is paved all the way up until it goes grass. And the pond is over this way, it looks like. What does this say? Over here it says Lakeshore and the Hutchinson Trail, east and west. We're going to head out this way first before we make our way down to the lake. What's over here? Caution steep grade, dismount bikes. Well, we definitely found the ravine. It goes down quite a bit. There's a ton of foot traffic on this trail. Keep that in mind. So as you saw, I followed this ramp. It wasn't noted on my map, but there is a circle here. Obviously, we found this circle here. Looks like we're in a nest here. So they definitely spent some money for this. This is not something I've seen, and it's pretty elaborate too. I haven't seen anything like this in any of the other Lake County Forest Preserves. A couple of these viewing scopes. We made it to the other end of the Birding Trail loop, which is this trail right over this way. If we were able to ride on it, we would be able to connect all the way to this Fort Sheridan National Cemetery. All right, so we made it pretty much to the western end here of the Hutchinson Trail. It's actually just a little bit further. It goes up to the intersection. I'll go up there and show you, but I just wanted to look at the map here. So we made our way through all of this. Again, we parked over here, so we got to do the other side of this, and then we'll make our way back here, and then we'll check out the blue trail and then the red one here. That nest area was definitely worth checking out, although interestingly, I don't see it noted anywhere here on the map. So this is the west side of the Yellow Trail right here at Sheridan Road and Simmons Way, right by these really cool town of Fort Sheridan signs. It's really nice. This is the Robert McClory bike path right here that goes along this way and it crosses here and goes over this way. So I've been at this intersection multiple times, but I did not make my way into the Forest Preserve any one of those times. The Yellow Trail is pretty cool. Definitely a lot of pedestrian traffic on that, so if you encounter that, don't be surprised. So at this point, we're going to make our way back to the other side of the Yellow Loop, which should take us right to Lake Michigan. Well, we're slowly but surely making our way down the trail. That is a pretty steep grade. Make sure your brakes are good. Once we get down here, we're greeted with a no bikes allowed on grass trails sign. Looking at the map over here, we're down here now. So there is a little connector grass trail that'll get you to the main loop that we can't ride on, although again, we're going to check out this in a bit. But at this point, we're getting pretty close to the water. Looks like it continues that way. Looks like there might be like 15 or 20 people down there. One hell of a view once you get to the bottom here. They do have like a little beach area, but they do not want you to go in the water. As you saw, I went down, there was a trail that continued here. I just followed it until where it ended. So turned around and made my way back. All right, so as you saw, we made our way up the rest of the yellow trail. Now we're on the blue trail. Over this way, they do have another sign that says no bikes. That's where the grass trail over here is, but it is paved this way, at least up until an overlook. Well, that was basically the 0.2 mile Lake Overlook Trail. Over this way is the overlook. We're going to check that out in a second. Yet again, another bikes not allowed on grass trail sign that continues this way. And then it would wrap its way around to the cemetery over there. All right, so we made it to the Blue Trail Overlook here. As far as Lake County Forest Preserve overlooks, this one is definitely overlooking. As always, when given an opportunity, let's take a moment to recognize Old Glory, waving in the breeze, as she should. All right, so we made it to the very end of the Parade Grounds Trail, which is 0.75 miles total from right here at the parking lot. As you saw, we passed by a cool sculpture and they had that National Historic Landmark sign. So at this point, rather than just backtracking on the Parade Grounds Trail, I'm just going to continue down the street this way and see what we got over on this side where there is no trail. All right, so we made it back to the parking lot here at Fort Sheridan Forest Preserve. The trails are definitely worth checking out. This whole area is worth checking out. I've never been here before, so this is definitely something worth seeing. The only unfortunate part about this forest preserve is this big loop right here, not giving access to bikes. Total ride was about 4.5 miles. So if you wanted to add on like 4.5 miles, if you're riding the Robert McClory bike path, you could definitely stop here, do the trails here, and then continue making your way in either direction. Definitely check out that nest area. I'm pretty sure this is it over here. And both of the overlooks here are definitely worth checking out. And they have a sign here at this forest preserve that I haven't seen at any other forest preserve. I will note that this place is actually pretty busy for how small it is, but based on where we are, right by Lake Michigan, you have access all the way down to the water without having to pay anything. That makes it definitely worth checking out. Lots of people walking dogs here. Just south of Fort Sheridan Forest Preserve is Openlands Lakeshore Preserve. Back in 2023, this was transferred to the Lake County Forest Preserve. This adds some more trails to the area and is also connected to the Robert McClory bike path. This is how you get from one location to the other. Let me know what you think of the trails in the comments below. If you are familiar with this area and you know of somewhere I should check out the next time I'm here, definitely let me know. As always, if you enjoy this content, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel grow. If you are interested in supporting this channel and helping us get to more trails, please consider a super thanks. And that's all I got today from Fort Sheridan Forest Preserve. I'll catch you on the next ride.
Do you have a trail recommendation for me? Let me know in the comments below.